I'm Heck Rice, and I'm from Hanover, Virginia. And what I make is old traditional type canvas decoys that we used in eastern North Carolina and eastern Virginia for years. Uh, they were actually used in place of wooden decoys because a lot of times wood was not available. Uh, they made these out of old ship sails, and the wire would be old telephone line. This is an old traditional way, basically with wooden bottoms, wooden profile, and then you stretch arch wires around here. And then what I'm doing now, I'm putting stringers on them, we call this. And what that does is it reinforces or stabilizes the wire, but also when you put the canvas on and you're stretching the canvas, it keeps it from sinking down in between each one. It holds it up, as you can see. You can see the stringers in there, and it keeps them from coming up. I'm starting to use a new product on them, which is not traditional, but I'm making the breast and all out of styrofoam, rather than this one is made out of old balsa wood. But the styrofoam is easy to work with. It's waterproof, it's light, and it's going to be covered with canvas anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. You're not going to see it. Basically, what's on the inside of one of these is never seen. So there's a lot of different tech products and all that have been used on the inside. The real old traditional ones, the tail was also just a piece of wire brought around here. Well, we started changing it a little bit and putting a wooden tail on them and covering that with canvas too. So, and then your head, because your heads are carved out of wood, just like any wooden decoy would be. And then the head is mounted, and a big dowel is run up through the bottom, through this hole in this block, and then up into the head, and then that's glued on after the canvas. In other words, the canvas is put on first, then the head is put on as the last thing and glued down, like that. And then after all that's done, we paint them. First coat of paint we put on can be basically anything. I happen to use Rust-Oleum, just white Rust-Oleum oil-based paint, and put it on real thick and heavy and let it soak in. And then when it dries, that's what tightens the canvas. And it'll tighten it, I mean, just tight as can be, almost like wood. And then after you do that, then you paint them whatever to match the species of bird that you're doing. Like I said, I have started doing just about every species of duck. The traditional ones are more geese and swans because they were the largest birds. They were hunting, and they didn't have the wood to make them, and they didn't want the weight of trying to carry 20 swans in a skiff, so they made them out of canvas. The larger the bird, the easier it is to make. A swan is much easier to cover with canvas than a smaller bird because it's more area to keep the wrinkles out. And that's the big thing we canvas makers don't want, is wrinkles. We try our best to keep all the wrinkles out of the bird. And if you're going to have any play in it, you do it underneath the tail and you pull it all in, and then I put a little cloth band, glue a little band on it just to make them look neat. They don't have to. The old ones they're hunting with were not this neat, but now that we're showing them and competing with them, we have to try to dress them up and make them look a little bit neater.